Good morning, everybody. Today I will talk about Buddhism in the context of healthcare. Buddhism may be translated into the science of the awakened one, and as a religious and philosophical system appeared in the 6th century before Christ in India. The founder of Buddhism is Buddha, the son of the prince of Sakya family, ruler of a city-state in northern India. Buddhism is classified as a dharmic and non-theistic religion. After Buddha's death, during 5 centuries, Buddhism spread from the Indian subcontinent to Central, Southeastern and Eastern Asia, and nowadays also to the West. The data on the number of Buddhists in the world are strongly divergent. Buddhism is ranked as fifth among the world's most popular religions. Historically, there have been numerous variations and schools of it, which usually tolerated and even supported each other. They had a lot of structured hierarchy. Contemporary Buddhism is divided into three traditions. Buddhism comprises a variety of beliefs, spiritual practices, and traditions based on original teaching attributed to Buddha. Buddhists follow the path of enlightenment by developing their wisdom, morality, meditation. Personal insight replaces belief in God with study of the laws of cause and effect, karma. Spiritual enlightenment occurs through conscious living and meditation. Rebirth is based on human action, while insight and extinction of desire bring freedom and peace. Buddhism is based on four noble truths about suffering, the cause of suffering, the cessation of suffering, and nirvana. The Eightfold Path leading to the cessation of suffering. Sutra is the name of Buddhist religious books containing Buddha's teaching, his lectures, discussion with his student, and in Buddhism, the concept of the wheel of Dharma, which is teaching, is essential. It's symbolizing the Noble Eightfold Path, composed of right view, right thinking, right word, right speech, right deed or contact, rightful hearing, right aspiration, right concentration, and right. Of course, in Buddhism there are specific rituals, ceremonies, and symbols. For instance, there are ceremony of blessing a child, of marriage, but no marriage sacrament or wedding ceremony take place, and the ceremony of death. As for symbols, one has to mention at least lotus flower, where it symbolizes as follow that white refers to purity of mind and spirit, red to compassion and love, and blue stands for common sense and the use of logic, wisdom to achieve enlightenment. Pink represents the story of Buddha, purple indicates mysticism and spirituality, while gold represents the attainment of enlightenment. Important is also Bodhi tree, which symbolizes victory over suffering, and the fig tree under which the Buddha attained enlightenment. The Buddhist year is rich in festivals, most of which fall during the full moon. The most famous is Vesak, celebrated in May or June, when both the birth of the Buddha and enlightenment and death are celebrated. Buddhists regularly make offerings of flower and food to the Buddha. Burning incense or candles and scattering flower petals around the Buddha statue are ways of making offerings that also beautify the temples. The light of the candles symbolize the light of the Buddha great wisdom, and the smoke of burning incense spreads the truth of Buddhist doctrine among the faithful. Buddhists meditate to purify the mind and free themselves from thoughts of material matters. In this way, they strive to attain the perfect. One way to meditate is to concentrate on breathing. This clears the mind of selfish thoughts, making it calmer and purer. Those who followed the Buddha was called the Sangha, a community of monks and nuns. Those who became monks and nuns underwent ordination ceremony, during which they shaved their heads and wore robes symbolizing reunification of the world. They entered the homeless life of wandering monks who settled in monasteries only during months of the rainy Buddhism has spread strongly throughout Asia countries. However, different traditions prevail in different lands, so that the forms of burial are also different from each other. Cremation or air burial it is being practiced in countries with a predominantly Buddhist faith. The deceased are most often cremated according to Western standard in special crematorium ovens. However, there are countries such as Tibet where a ritual rite of exposing the body of the deceased to the vultures is still carried out. And for instance, in Mongolia, the body of the deceased is placed on the floor in the middle of the room and the eyes and mouth are closed. It remains there for 3 days and then it is touched as a sign of respect. There are also other rituals, for instance, such as marking, where a person appointed by Lama makes a mark on the body of the deceased with milk or just a marker pen. In the vast majority of cases, it is a dot. It is believed that a newborn child, who will be the next incarnation of the deceased, will have the same mark in the form of the birthmark on the skin. Another is speaking to the deceased, and for instance, the golden box, which in fact does not exist as a material object, when a lama is informed of a death, he symbolically opens this golden box. It is a kind of divination that tells whether or not the person has passed away at the right time. In Buddhist perspective, healing and recovery occurs through awakening to Buddha's wisdom. Also, health is understood holistically as physical, mental, social, and spiritual health. Mental therapies are of great importance. Health, illness, and disability have their causes in negative emotions, wrong views, and improper nutrition and lifestyle. No human being wants to suffer, but neither can he or she enjoy a lifetime of physical and spiritual health because human beings are, by definition, birth, old age, sickness, death, as well as contact with things that are unpleasant, are considered to be suffering. Complete freedom from suffering, including illness, can be achieved by overcoming the five poisons of the mind, such as anger, jealousy, hatred, lust, and the false sense of self. The goal of Buddhism is to lead a human to a state of eternal happiness. Buddhism assumes that the human soul is immortal and returns to the world in successive incarnations. This makes the art of perfecting it possible. Buddhism is a very diverse movement, with most orthodox factions categorically prescribing vegetarianism or veganism. Buddhists believe that the Buddha in his life on earth before becoming a human being went through reincarnations through the bodies of various animals. Therefore, violence against animals and inflicting pain on them can return to the perpetrators. Followers of Buddhism devote a lot of time to fasting. They fast on certain days of the month as well as abstaining from eating solid food until midday. This religion assumes that a religious person should strive for harmony between the inner and outer worlds. And this is possible, among other things, by reducing dietary needs and eliminating animal foods from the menu. In Buddhism, different recommendations apply to monks and lay people. The stricter ones apply to the clergy, but all Buddhists are discouraged from excessive food consumption. Since people in the world are dying of hunger and malnutrition, as well as due to diseases associated with excessive consumption, Buddhist recommendation that follow is considered a good deal. And here are for the end, some practical hints for the Buddhist lifestyle. For instance, avoiding alcohol, coffee, tobacco. Animal products are also excluded from consumption because of the absorption of the hatred the animals feel. At the moment of the death may return to the one who eats them. There is also, as for preparation of food, it is important that any food is considered stale after 24 hours, and the use of herbs and spices is important. Pre-cooked product should not be frozen. Freezing of raw product is permissible. Thank you very much for listening on this lecture. Goodbye.